Welcome to From Our Perspective. I'm joined by criminal defense partner Ryan Robertson to discuss how he fought for a client's innocence. Our client was facing a third DUI charge and the prospect of spending 90 days behind bars. In times like this, our team was the client's lifeline to a second chance. Ryan, thank you for joining me. Tell me more about our client and the tough situation that they were in.
So our client was actually driving through the mountains and got a little bit lost. It was a little bit outside his neighborhood. So he pulled into just a random driveway so he could try to gain his bearings, go on Apple Maps, I believe, try to figure out where exactly he was trying to go. The owner of the house did not take too kindly to that, actually threatened to kill our client, so client got off of the property and just started driving again. The owner of that household actually ended up calling the police and claimed that client was actually trying to trespass or was trying to potentially maybe even break into that owner's home.
Did law enforcement witness any DUI-related issues, and was the client arrested then?
So yes, he was arrested, but no, they actually didn't see any sort of indicia that he was driving under the influence. In fact, the officer during the motions hearing indicated that there was nothing. He was driving the car at an appropriate rate of speed. There was no weaving. There wasn't even like a busted taillight or a bad windshield or something like that. The officer just simply pulled him over based off of that report of a trespass.
And what were the penalties the district attorney was seeking in this case?
So this client unfortunately had 2 prior DUIs, so he was already at a minimum mandatory of 60 days of jail. When the client elected to do a blood test in this case, he actually ended up having above a 0.2, and so the DA was actually seeking 90 days jail, 2 years of supervised probation, and a litany of other issues related to that, including alcohol classes, a lot of community service, a victim impact panel. And again, I can't stress enough, supervised probation, which means that you have somebody who's checking up on you. They ask you to jump. The only question you respond with is, how high? And that he was going to have to do for 2 years.
So what was the legal strategy you thought was best in this situation?
So because of what we were seeing inside the reports, that simply this was not a trespass. Otherwise, anytime any of us get lost and maybe pull over to the side of the road or drive up onto somebody's driveway so we can turn around, under that legal theory, all of us have committed trespass, and how many times in our lives. So first off, we knew that there was an issue there. Second, the officer could not say anything that showed that our client was driving poorly. He simply just pulled him over on kind of a hunch, which is just simply prohibited. So we thought that this was something that we could actually deal with via filing a motion to dismiss.
And tell us about the results.
And so we went to a hearing on this, and the judge actually issued an order agreeing with us. The judge found that there was simply no trespass, that there was simply no bad driving, and that the officer had exceeded their authority and suppressed all of the evidence in the case that had been picked up by this officer, including any observations of our client after he had been pulled over and any of those blood test results. And so the DA was forced to dismiss the case, and client did not have to face a single day in jail.
That's great to hear. So if someone does find themselves facing a DUI charge, why should they be seeking legal advice and not try to handle it on their own?
They really just need to go to a lawyer and at least go through the entire scenario. I can tell you, as someone who did the consult with this client, he thought that there was no hope in the world to try to avoid this. He actually just said, I just want to make sure I have to do as little days in jail as possible. But because we obviously understand the nuances and what an officer can do, what they can't do, and what the state's burden is, we were able to immediately diagnose this as something that we could probably get kicked, and we were able to.
Thanks for sharing your perspective, Ryan.
Absolutely.
If you or someone you know is facing a DUI charge, the stakes are high. Reach out to us for a case assessment on our website or give us a call.